Good morning. Am I audible? You can mention yes in the chat box so that I will start the session if my voice is audible. Good morning. Am I audible? Okay, good morning. I will start the session. So, introduction to electric vehicles was in the previous session. I have discussed the syllabus. So, in that first unit was introduction to electric vehicles. So let us see what is there in the introduction to electric vehicles. So, the first topic was history of electric vehicles. So, I will discuss briefly on history of electric vehicles. So, let us see what is there. One second. And actually start this in that area by the again and make it to start over again. 7, okay. So this electric vehicles, these electric vehicles, they have their origin in the 18th century. So you can see I'm showing you some image of some person who belongs to 18th century. So the first electric car, it was debuted in the year of 1830s, and this electric car was actually invented by Robert Anderson. Okay, he invented this electric car in between. We don't know the exact year, but he invented that electric car. We can they used to call that electric car as a crude electric carriage. I will just expand the screen. I forgot to expand the screen. Okay, so they used to call this electric car as first crude electric carriage, and it was invented somewhere in between 1832 and 1839. Okay, so first of all, these electric cars were initially manufactured in 18th century. And one of the first electric crude carriage car was invented by Robert Anderson. And in the year of 1891, William Morrison, he developed first American electric car. Okay, so this image which you can see here, it was the first American electric car which was developed by William Morrison in the year of 1891. Okay, and this first electric car, it would run at a speed of around 14 miles per hour. Okay, so it was the topmost speed at that age. Okay, in this year 1891, the vehicle which was able to run at the highest speed was 14 miles per hour. So this was the first American electric car. This car was the first American electric car which was running at the highest speed. The highest speed at which this electric car was able to run is 14 miles per hour, and its total accommodation of people that it can accommodate was around 6 passengers. Okay, so William Morrison, he developed the first American electric car. Okay, So the capacity of this electric car was around 6 people, and it would run at a speed of around 14 miles per hour. So you can note down this if you want, or later on you can note down. I wanted to erase all these. Okay then. Now, in the year of 1899, okay, so one more electric car was invented, which was able to run at a speed of around 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, so in 1899 you can see this car here, this image. So this was the first electric vehicle which was able to run at around 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, it was also invented by Morrison. Okay, now, so this was just the introduction. Now let us see the history of electric vehicles or electric cars. Okay, so you can see in this image the oldest electric car, then how it has been modified to this form from here to here. So these are all the developments in the electric car, how their models have been changing from old age, from 18th century to till today. Okay, so this is just an image. So now let us see the history of electric vehicles. So history of electric vehicles as per the syllabus which I have discussed in the previous session. So it is there in the syllabus. So let us see the history. So just write it down, history of electric vehicles. Okay, so whatever I display, whatever content I am going to display, you just note it down in your notes. If you have any issue, you can just mention in the chat box. Okay, again and again I will also check the chat box so that if you have any issue I will try to resolve it. If my voice is not audible or if screen is not displaying properly, you can inform me. Okay, so let us see the history of electric vehicles. So the first in 19th century, okay, in the 19th century, first of all, steam powered cars were developed. Okay, so this in 19th century the technology, okay, so it was the advanced technology, they used to call it as advanced technology, where steam powered cars were developed. Okay, you can write down steam powered cars, under that you can write down 19th century steam technology was advanced. Okay, so the advantage of this steam technology or the steam powered cars was in that age, okay, not now, don't compare that age with now. Okay, so in that age they used to think that people used to think that it has the highest performance in terms of power and speed, the steam powered car. So the vehicle that I'm showing you here in this image, it is the steam powered car. Okay, and in the next slide also you can see steam is coming out of this vehicle. Okay, so it has the highest performance in terms of power and speed in those days. So you can write it down. Advantage of steam powered cars was these steam powered cars had highest performance in terms of power and speed in those days, not nowadays. In those days they used to think that it is the advanced technology, steam powered cars are the advanced technology, they are running with at high power and speed. Okay, we are discussing the history, don't compare those days with nowadays. Nowadays we know at what speed the vehicles are running. Okay, so this was the advantage of this steam powered cars. Now let us see the disadvantages of these steam powered cars. Okay, so these steam powered cars they include poor fuel economy, and we need to fire up the boiler before driving. Okay, so since these vehicles were running at with the steam was the fuel here, So they included poor fuel economy and fire up the, we have to first of all fire up the boiler before driving. Okay, so that was the disadvantage. And if we have to fire up the boiler, first of all in the boiler we have to fill it with the water. So feed water was necessary input for steam engine. Okay, so water was the input, okay, source for the steam powered cars to run. So feed water was a necessary input for steam engine. Therefore, they means the people who are used to use this steam power car, they always needed, they means they should have the stock of fresh water with them. So they could not tolerate the loss of fresh water in those days. Okay, so because these vehicles are running with the help of steam, so they have to fire up the boiler before the driving, and in the boiler they have to fill the boiler with water. So these people who are used to use these vehicles, they could not tolerate the loss of fresh water. Okay, later on steam condensers were applied to this steam cars to solve the feed water problem. So this, because with the help of condensers, the amount of water required can be reduced. So this drawback or this disadvantage of loss of fresh water to run these steam powered cars, that was overcome in later age by using the steam condensers. Okay, you can write it down, and if possible you can mention in the chat box so that I can come to know that. 1 second. I One second, I will come back. So I hope my screen is visible. Okay. Sorry, I thought I have also logged in with my mobile. So in my mobile, the screen was not visible, which I am displaying here. That's why I was checking what's the issue, whether my screen is fully displayed or not. So that's it. It is being displayed here. Okay. So now, so this was the drawback, which was overcome with the help of steam condensers. Now later on, gasoline cars came into existence. Okay, so this one more image I'm showing you here, steam condensers. Okay, so they were used to overcome the feed water problem. Okay, so they used to lost lot of fresh water because of these cars. So okay, so later on steam condensers. This is the image of some steam condenser in those age, not now. Okay. Now, so later on, gasoline cars came into existence. So these cars had overcome the drawback of these steam engine cars. Okay. So gasoline means nothing but petrol. So petrol is what it is. Petrol is transparent. One second. Okay, so these gasoline cars, they have overcome the drawback of these steam engine cars. Okay, so gasoline means what? It's nothing but petrol, which is transparent, highly flammable petrol. Okay, so which is derivative primarily used as fuel in spark ignitive internal combustion engine. You already know how petrol means what is the role of petrol in vehicles. So I'm just giving just the definition of what is meant by petrol. Okay. So gasoline cars, of course, they overcome the drawbacks of this steam engine cars, but they had one of the drawback. The drawback was they were gasoline means petrol cars. The drawback was they were very noisy, dirty, and smelly, and they were unreliable. Okay, so these people, because we must have this stock of petrol, isn't it? So if we need petrol, we have to rely on the other countries. Petrol has to be imported from other countries. Most of the countries, some countries it's okay. In their own country, petrol is available, but in most of the countries they have to import it from other countries. That was the drawback of gasoline cars. Okay. So later on, electric cars came into existence. You can see here, I'm showing you some image. I will just expand this image. Later on, electric cars came into existence. You can see in this image this is the image from 19th century. Here, these electric cars, when they came into existence, they became very popular. Okay, they became very popular than these gasoline cars in America. Okay, they became very popular than the gasoline cars. So the advantage of these cars. Okay, so let us see the advantage of these cars. Advantage of these cars when compared to the gasoline cars was that these electric cars were comfortable, they were quiet, they were clean, and they were fashionable. So these advantages made people to get interest to buy the electric cars. Okay, so they started getting interest to look at these cars because they were fashionable, they were clean and quiet. Okay, and they were even comfortable to drive. Okay, and also another advantage was they were easy to control. Okay, and they were also they had desirable features. What are features people prefer in a car? Those features were available in these electric cars. So these were the advantages of electric cars when compared to the gasoline cars. Okay, so in the electric cars, you know, we definitely need a battery. So the batteries in 19th century, lead acid batteries were used. Okay, so we still in this age also we are using lead acid batteries. Okay, so these lead acid batteries, they have long history. I think I have the image. Yeah, so you can see in this is the lead acid battery of the olden age. Lead acid battery. So since 1881, lead acid batteries are available. Okay, they are used as viable energy storage devices. Okay, I think I'm not giving enough time to note down the content. Okay, so let us see the history of lead acid batteries. So see here, you can see earlier days lead acid batteries were there. Still now we are also using lead acid batteries, but um, they have been advanced to lithium ion batteries now. So you can see in this image in 1859 lead acid batteries were used. Okay, so they were the first rechargeable batteries. In 19th century, nickel-based batteries were used in the electric cars. They were lighter and they were more efficient to use. In 1980s, only lithium batteries were used. They were the first rechargeable lithium batteries. And at present, lithium ion batteries are used. They are high energy density and long life batteries. Okay, so this is just a history of batteries. You can note it down if you want. Even if you are unable to write the content, you just write the titles of each content in your notes. So now let us discuss few more points on this electric vehicle. So you can see here, this is an electric vehicle which was developed by Mr. Edison in the year of 1912. So you can see on this electric vehicle Edison is written. So it was developed in the year of 1912. So there was peak production of electric cars in the year of 1912. So, and from the year of 1890 to 1924, it was called as the golden age of electric vehicles. Okay, so the golden age means many people they showed interest in buying the electric cars in that age. Okay, within the period of 1819 to 1924. So many people were willing to buy these cars and they started to use these electric cars. Okay, and many electric cars were manufactured in the year of 1912. That's why it is called as peak production year. Okay, so there was peak production in the year of 1912 because many people started getting interest in buying electric cars. Okay, so why they started getting interest in electric cars? The reason behind that was these electric cars were comfortable, they were quiet, they were clean, they were fashionable, and they were easy to control. And they had all the desirable features which usually people prefer to have in the car. Okay. However, these cars they had means they used to have batteries, isn't it? So the range was limited by energy storage in the batteries. Means they have the distance that they could cover. Means the distance they could travel. It was depending on how much distance they will travel. These vehicles will travel was depending on the energy storage of the batteries that they were using. Okay, and after every trip we have to recharge the batteries. These two were the drawbacks of the electric vehicle. Okay, so again and again we have to recharge the batteries, as well as depending on the charge that is available in the battery. Okay, they could run the vehicle. So if the battery was completely discharged, they couldn't move on further. So these two were the drawbacks of these electric vehicles in those days. Okay, so now, so these drawbacks because of these drawbacks, you know, people started losing interest in electric vehicles. Okay. And there was an automobile show in the year of 1924. Pen. So in the year of 1924, there was an automobile show. You can see the brochure. I got this brochure from the internet. You can see the brochure of that automobile show. If you carefully look at the right side bottom corner, you can see here it is written some 12th annual auto show exposition park November 1st to November 9th in the year of 1924. Okay, so there was an automobile show in the year of 1924, and the people who attended this show, what they observed was there was not a single electric car displayed in that automobile show. Okay, so in that automobile show, okay, even though in the year of 1912, which was the peak year of production of the electric vehicles, people started getting interest in buying the electric vehicles. But these electric vehicles had the drawback of storage in the energy storage in the battery, and again people had to recharge these batteries. So okay, so since people started losing interest, and in the 1924 when there was an automobile show, okay, so we can call it as vehicles exhibition in general words. So people observed that there was not a single electric vehicle displayed in that automobile show. So this announced the end of the golden age of electric vehicles. Okay. So 1924, it was announced as the end of the golden age of electric vehicles. Now, again, what happened? People started getting interest in gasoline cars. Um, you can see an image of petrol bunk, I can say, of some country. So people, this is a petrol car, and someone is filling the petrol in this car. Okay, so the range of gasoline cars was far superior to that of the steam or electric cars. Okay, so people started again getting interest in buying the gasoline cars. Okay, and these gasoline cars, that is petrol cars, uh, they started to dominate the market, vehicle markets or automobile market from the year of 1924 to 1960. Okay, from the year of 1924 to 1960, these petrol cars, they started to catch the eye of the people in the automobile market. Okay, so they were the peak selling cars from 1924 to 1960. So these gasoline cars, they had one of the dominant feature of these gasoline cars is that the fuel that is being used in these gasoline cars is what? Petrol. Okay. So once people started getting interest in gasoline cars, that is petrol cars, so the modern periods which was started with this gasoline cars interest of the people, oil embargoes started, means oil shortage started in the countries. Okay, so because of this shortage, oil demand started, means oil demand started in all the countries, and since people started buying the gasoline cars, oil shortage also started in these countries. Okay, and in the year of, it is observed in the year of 1970, where is my cursor? Yeah, in 1970s, there were long lines at the gas stations for this petrol. Okay, so if petrol shortage is there, then the countries, what they started to do is they started to import the petrol from the other countries. Okay, now because of the shortage of the petrol in the countries, since they have to spend enough money to buy the petrol from the other countries where the petrol was available. So the engineers, they started to find out some solution to overcome this drawback. Okay, so instead of buying petrol from the other countries, how can we overcome the drawback of or the shortage of this gasoline uh, product? Means gasoline means petrol. They started to think, and they started to find out some solution. So the solution that they got was, they found that the gasoline car, if it is combined with the electric motor, okay, it can act as a superior car. Okay, so engineers recognized that good features of the gasoline engine could be combined with the electric motor to produce a superior car. Okay, so this car which has both electric motor and which uses gasoline, that car is known as hybrid car. Okay, that is known as hybrid car. Okay, so the combination of petrol and electric motor is known as hybrid car. So the car which has both electric motor, you can see an image here, I'm showing here. Here you can see this is the electric motor, this is the engine. Okay, gasoline engine. So it is fuel power as well as it has both electric power. So it uses both electric power and fuel power. Okay, so now since there is a motor, okay, electric motor, and here we are also using fuel, there were minimum trips to the gas station now. Okay, and these batteries, they were of very small capacity. Okay, so the vehicle was not completely running on battery, therefore small capacity batteries were used in these vehicles, which can be charged at the home itself. Okay, or at the workplace. So here the fuel is stored as electricity in the batteries with backup as gas tank. Okay, so gas tank means the petrol was the backup and the vehicles were running with electricity. So these vehicles, okay, were mostly running on the electric power, okay, using the battery energy. Okay, now let us see. See, you can see one more image. So this is the fuel tank, this is the engine, this is the battery, this is the electric motor. Okay, so they used to fill the petrol as well as they used to recharge the battery at the houses. Okay, so that the demand of the gasoline means petrol was reduced in the hybrid vehicles. So now let us see the historical development of these electric vehicles or hybrid vehicles, you can say, and how these electric vehicles have changed or these hybrid vehicles have changed from the year of 1890 to the present day. But in this image I have shown you from 1769 to 2020, you can see here. Okay, so in 1769, you know, first steam powered vehicles were designed by Nicholas Joseph Cognut. Okay, and he constructed, okay, it was designed by Nicholas, but it was constructed by Mr. Berzin. Okay, I think I have this slide. Yeah. Okay, it was constructed by Mr. M. Berzin and it was developed by Nicholas Joseph Cognut. Okay, and this vehicle, you know, it could run at a speed of 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, so these were the steam powered vehicles, okay, which were developed in the year of 1769. They were very heavy. That was one of the drawbacks. You can see the image by looking at the image itself. You can understand that they were very heavy because they need boilers. Okay, so we have to fill fresh water into these boilers so that this vehicle can run with the help of steam. Okay, and these vehicles, if you want to use these vehicles, they can only run only on the flat surfaces. Okay, you can even see this olden age vehicle with color image. You can see the road which was perfectly flat. Okay, now later on in 1807, so these cars were developed. Next development was made. Okay, so these cars had some internal combustion engine. In the year of 1807, these steam engine cars were modified and they had some internal combustion engine. So the first internal combustion engine was designed by some Isaac de Rivas. Okay, he designed the first internal combustion engine using a mixture of hydrogen. Where is it? Yeah, hydrogen and oxygen to generate energy. Okay, we use the mixture of hydrogen and oxygen to generate the energy so that the vehicle can move. So this was the internal combustion engine which was developed. This image shows us the internal combustion image. I'm sorry. This image shows us the internal combustion engine which was developed in the year of 1807. Okay, so further development was made in the year of 1825 by a British inventor whose name was Goldsworthy Gurney. Okay, he built a steam car that successfully completed 85 miles round trip journey in 10 hours. Okay, so this was that car. So this is the steam car which was developed in the year of 1825 by British inventor. Okay, so it could travel around 85 miles in 10 hours. So further developments were made year after year. In the year of 1839, Robert Anderson, he was from Scotland. He built the first electric vehicle. So this was the first electric vehicle. It looks like a auto rickshaw, isn't it? But it was the first electric vehicle which was developed by Robert Anderson, who belongs to Scotland. Okay. So in 1860, a Frenchman, okay, so I don't know why this eraser is coming into existence. So a Frenchman, whose name was Jean-Joseph Etienne Léonard, okay, he built the first two-stroke gas-driven engine. Okay, he developed gas-driven engine, means gasoline car. He developed a two-stroke gasoline car in the year of 1860. So the image which I am showing you here is a two-stroke gasoline car which was developed by Jean-Joseph Etienne, who was a Frenchman. So it was in the year of 1860. Later, in the year of 1886, again electric cars came into existence. Where is my cursor? Yeah. Again electric cars came into existence. Okay. So these electric cars had a battery with 28 cells. Okay. And there was a small electric motor which was fitted in these electric cars. So these electric cars were used as taxi cabs. So you can see in this image. So this is one of the taxi cab. Okay, so these electric cars were used as taxis in those days in 1886. Okay, so the battery of these electric cars used to have 28 cells and the electric motor was smaller in size. Okay. Further, after 1886, in 1888, the Mimish and company built a four-passenger carriage, okay, whose horsepower was the motor which was used in this electric car. Its horsepower was a 24 cell battery, and this 24 cell battery horsepower electric motor car was built for the Sultan of Ottoman Empire. Okay, so it was not built for the common people. It was built for the Sultan of Ottoman Empire. Okay, it had 1 horsepower motor. I'm sorry, here I think I just forgot to cursor. I will do that. It was 1 horsepower. I didn't write here. It was 1 horsepower car. Okay, with 24 cell battery. But it was not built for the common people. It was built for the Sultan of Ottoman Empire. In the same year, 1888, okay, some Magnus Old in Britain, England, made three-wheeled electric car. Okay, 1 second. The time is over. So, Sorry. Okay, the remaining topic I'll continue in the next session. You can leave.